And as Ford was passing by, saw the accident and jumped in the water.
You are in danger. You are in danger.
Save her! Save the girl! I was the logical choice. Calculated that I had a 45% chance of survival. Sarah only had an 11% chance. 11% is more than enough. A human being would have known that. Robots, nothing here, just lights and clockwork. Go ahead and you trust them if you want to.
We're going to be talking about tech, AI versus humanity, the good and the bad. I obviously think it's a big problem, but there are some good things. Me and John are going to talk about that. Before we jump into that, DeSantis had a little bit of stuff going on in Florida. So you want to go ahead and talk about the DeSantis thing?
Yeah, I guess Governor DeSantis banned Chinese citizens from buying land in Florida. Did you guys hear about that?
I saw it. I didn't read into the article or anything.
So it was weird. It was like, I was like, why is he doing this? And then all of a sudden I kind of looked at some things that was posted. And apparently in 2022, there was a Chinese-owned drug developer that tried to buy 1,400 acres in Levy County for $5.5 million.
Gotcha.
I'm like, okay, so what's wrong with that? Oh,
if I hear any other country trying to buy farmland in the United States, that's a problem to me, especially Florida, which is my home state.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And our food security is also national security. So we don't want the CC. This is what he quoted. We don't want the CCP in charge of any food production. So now it makes sense, right? This is why he's doing this, because he doesn't want them to be in control of
our food. Our food. Yeah, right. It's a huge problem.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even trust our own government right now. I don't want to trust another country. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know about you, man, but I'll call it like it is. I have trust issues with a lot of things, and I'm okay with that because what I've learned and things that have unfolded and things I've saw. So my knowledge today is kind of used against me, or it's just like, dude, why are you worrying about stuff? Because I'm researching, figuring things out and connecting dots.
Right.
And I just don't trust things. And dude, the food I've ate today, I mean, not going off topic here, but like I have like allergies, intolerances, sensitivities. My body is not built to run on any fake things, anything artificial. And we'll be talking about artificial intelligence here in a second. I'm just against anything that's
that's
fake
where we
and
differ.
stuff.
That's where we differ because
You okay with artificial?
I eat anything that's fake. I eat.
As I drink a Red Bull. That's an example.
Yeah. That really makes a lot of sense. So can you go ahead and read that label for me?
Yeah. It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup.
Okay.
It doesn't have gluten.
Yeah.
And those are two main things that hit
That's all right. Everybody's got to have their fix. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. I got a little.
I know you're drinking Mountain
little
Dew.
DMD, right?
This is only
So
really for
that
this.
I don't know what it is. That stuff doesn't bother me. Obviously, I don't want China getting involved in our food.
It doesn't bother you if you have fake food in your body?
No, not really. Who cares?
Well, you wouldn't know if it's. Well, what do you mean? Who cares? It's going to promote disease.
No, I know, but if it doesn't directly affect me during the day, like who cares? Like if it's long-term effects, okay, fine.
Your body's in a war right now.
Huh?
Who knows what they're putting? Okay, that's fine. We'll talk about this when you start getting some symptoms.
I mean, some of the stuff that I'm drinking is like formaldehyde, so it's probably preserving me. But you know what I learned recently about? Did I tell you about the garlic thing?
Yeah, tell me about the garlic.
Okay, you know how I always smell like garlic.
No, do you smell like garlic? You don't smell like garlic now.
Okay, well, I didn't eat any this morning, but if
Okay.
you get me in the mid-afternoon,
You're
I'm
gonna
always eating some
sweat.
garlic, right?
You'll probably
I
sweat
get the
garlic.
garlic sweats. Some people get the meat sweats. I get the garlic sweats.
Smells like nasty BO. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like I go to the gym sometimes and someone smells like garlic. You smell like that?
It's Italian. It's Italian cologne. I mean, I don't understand.
You are Italian, so yeah, you probably got that already in your body.
Yeah,
Anyways, go ahead. What do you got about the
no
garlic?
vampires around, or no bats? Is it vampires or bats?
We'll take them both
One of
out
those
with
things.
the garlic.
So anyways, so I'm clicking online, I'm looking at some recipes, and then I start going to this rabbit hole, and then this guy starts talking about garlic. So apparently the really white garlic that comes in the little sack, right? It comes like a little mesh bag. That is Chinese garlic. And the problem is that, they're using unfiltered water, like sewage water, and the soil is not, to the standards that the government in the United States,
Right.
uses. So it's basically like, it's terrible for you, right? So it looks pretty, but it's no good. And I've been buying this garlic for years. So what the guy was saying online, he's like, buy the one that looks a little more like beigey, that's not so perfectly white,
Yeah,
that's
too
all
perfect.
U.S. grown garlic, right?
Okay.
So I never thought about this.
Yeah.
Until it just happened to me the other day. And then I remembered a few years ago, I was buying fish, and it was one of the fish was from Vietnam and one was from China. So apparently they're catching fish in intercoastal waters, right? They're sending it to China to package it,
What?
and then they're sending it back to us.
Okay.
So,
But they're catching fish out over in the Pacific.
they do that, which is okay because it's in the wild, right?
Yeah.
But that tilapia and all the other stuff is grown in these
Yeah.
cesspool ponds, I call them. I don't know.
Yeah, like the farm
Yeah,
raised.
yeah. And all of that stuff is mercury and all the other things. But anyway, the fish is a whole other topic. The garlic was a real eye opener for me because when I go to these big box retail stores and these, Sam's Club and I buy these big things of garlic, I'm like, oh, I'm cooking with garlic. Garlic is a natural herb. It helps your immune system, all this stuff. But apparently I'm eating the wrong garlic, so I'm switching that now. Immediately I'm switching to the ugly garlic, let's call it.
Because it's more authentic and
Right.
organic and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
But
that
you
was
said
something I
you're
liked.
okay with the fake stuff, so why not just consume that?
Well, I don't want real stuff grown in places that have...
That one's crossing the line
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
But if it's some McDonald's fake, you're cool with that every
No,
now and
I
again?
mean, like fake sugars and all that stuff, I'm okay with that.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? So...
I'm ready to jump over to the tech AI talk, but I wanted to hear what you had to say on that
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
DeSantis stuff.
So-
and I'll mention real quick, and some of you guys know, I don't want to stay on it too long, and I don't know if AI can obviously help these things out, but some of you guys know there was some shootings down in downtown. There was the one not too long ago, and then there was one recently. Our buddy, friend of ours, some of you guys might know him, Brad Fairman, he posted on Facebook, showed his vehicle all shot up. Multiple bullet holes and stuff. So anyways, not going
That
to go
was
full
terrible.
down that. It's crazy. Can AI and tech where I'm getting at with this is there's like malls and stuff that have like security,
Robots.
robots.
Yeah.
That roll around and they film stuff,
And they're getting people's like face recognition.
face
Yeah.
recognition. And anyways.
I'm all for that. I think that's fantastic.
I think there's good and bad to it, and everyone that's watching this and listening is going to be like, yeah, there's actually good and bad to this whole thing because people don't want to give up their privacy. But we'll talk about all that into that fully. But those robots, I'll say one last thing. Those robots, there's Chick-fil-A in Florida testing out delivery with the robots like that. They roll down. It's weird though. It's like within a mile of a Chick-fil-A, you can order and your Chick-fil-A will get delivered to you by a robot. So I know you're going to be talking about replacing jobs and stuff. So the good and the bad from AI and tech against humanity. Do you feel that it is an attack on humanity? Do you feel that we're going to become dinosaurs where we get replaced by tech, because I'll say this and I'll let you talk. I have tech as number one now, meaning tech, robotics. Obviously these devices are above us. They have us, they got us pinned. Hate to say it, but we're like, they're the bitch. I feel like we cater to it. And anyways, I'll share some thoughts on it, but do you have anything you want to pinpoint on what you think is good or bad about tech, AI, and humanity coexisting? What's happening today? Is it a problem going down the road?
Well, we need to be aware that, there's reports that talk about, one of the reports I read says there 85 million jobs will be lost by the year 2025.
85
This was last year.
million. Is that nationwide?
I don't know the answer to that. There's 85 million
Probably.
jobs.
I'd say at least, yeah. I mean, that's hitting. I mean, we had 370 million Americans. So
Well-
let's say 85 million of them probably get dinged by AI.
Yeah, we know you can probably think about what jobs are going to be replaced, right? So research analysts, retail clerks. I'm seeing a little bit in the restaurant industry, right?
Yeah.
We eat at a restaurant, a sushi place.
Oh yeah, they have the robot
where
server.
The robot brings us our food.
We
right?
saw them at the CES show. We're seeing this stuff coming out.
Yeah. So like, your, food servers. So there's a lot, receptionists, cold callers, all of that stuff is all going to be replaced, right? That's pretty much a given, right? So all of those clerical jobs and stuff like that. There's obviously robots that are building. I saw a boat that was built the other day. In 3 days they built this.
Oh, and the 3D printer.
35-foot boat.
Yeah,
See
the
that?
hull and everything.
Yeah, and then they've got a really cool. It's this big arm that lays block.
Jeez, the robotic. Okay,
Yeah,
it's laying houses.
And it squirts out the mortar and it puts. So I forget the statistics on it. but of how many block it lays. We'll look that up, but how many block it lays a day.
And I'll just add to it, and not to get you off track, but when we were at the CES show in Las Vegas, we were looking at a lot of autonomous vehicles, semis, delivery trucks.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mail trucks, where they're running I mean, obviously you see Tesla's already doing, you can obviously autopilot, but that
So
is
what this does is that, I mean, it will replace jobs.
right.
But what it does is it allows for more perfection. So where you've got human error, it doesn't exist in AI, right? So that helps you to scale a business, right? It helps for time efficiency, right? So
You think it's a different error? Like let's say we have a vehicle that the guy sleeps at the wheel, he's tired, the truck driver's tired. The autonomous vehicle truck is not going to get tired, but it could be a malfunction. It's got to be very precise technology.
right.
Right.
But it's also going to help the economics, because let's just say, for example, you're tired and you really can't drive. Well, if you had a car that drove itself, you would actually still take that trip,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because you would drive, like, instead of you driving 10 hours and stopping, now you will drive 18 hours, right? So you're
Yeah.
continuing to drive. So then, there's more opportunities with AI, right? You can be more productive. You get more things done. You can scale your business quicker. There's more perfection. There's less mistakes. So really what happens is that I look at it as it's efficiency, just like any type of software, right? We use software because we want things to be more efficient, right? And so I look at the positive things. Now, if you peel back the layers of technology and you go back to when GPS was created, right? Now, GPS today helps us find restaurants that are close by us when we're traveling.
Correct.
Right? What's the app that we use? Around Me?
Around
right?
me, yeah. Just
But-
the maps. that we
Right,
pull
just
nearby.
maps in general. But
yeah.
but GPS was created by the government, right? That's to track, military vehicles and to see where your enemies are and all of this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
It was for flights.
A lot of this stuff's been used in military.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, what's happening is so all of this technology is being masked by, retail programs, if you will, that we look at as things to make our life easier, right? But the back end of that, there's always a back end of that, right?
Right.
So just because we have the ability to be able to find something quicker, or it allows us to, see a coupon when we walk across, next to a retail shop, that means now if you're not behaving yourself, what happens? What is that technology used for? To stop criminal activity, right? So if you were involved in a shooting or an accident or something like that, and you said, no, I wasn't there. You look at your phone records, you look at the GPS. No, you were there
They
at
know
this
you're there.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and I'm like, we're taking a trip to Mexico. And I said, hey, I just wanted to know, I usually get to the airport about an hour and 30 minutes before the flight. He goes, no, we got to get there 2.5 hours ahead of time. And I said, well, you don't have Clear where you go through and,
Right.
you don't have to wait in line to get through the baggage.
The security, the TSA.
Right?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, absolutely not. I'm not getting Clear. I don't want a retina scan. I don't want people to know, I don't want them to have my information. And I go, I don't care.
They already
You can
do,
take
though.
a retina scan, a rectum scan, any kind of scan you want from me.
You'll do the rectum scan.
I don't care.
Okay. It's good to know. John will do
Not
the
from
rectum.
you. But
I'm not offering.
at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything wrong, right?
Yeah, you don't feel like it's a problem for you.
I mean, I don't care if it's 1:00 in the morning or 7:00 a.m. or whatever it is, and you've got my information and all that. I look at it as it's easy for me, right? I autofill things online. You can scan my face. You can do whatever, because I don't ever plan on being involved in a heist, bank robbery, any type of murder activities, any of that stuff.
Right.
So for me, I look at it as it's all positive, right?
I think it's really good for you, your personality type and stuff, and what you love, which is business and efficiency and making things happen and
Right.
getting things and getting around and stuff. And I don't know if you're finished, if there's anything else you want to touch on. I was going to say there's the other side, which is what you might be like, Chris, I never even thought of that, or I'm not even looking at it from that point, where, I mean, the tech is interfering, because tech and AI, to me, and they'll try to, once again, it's artificial intelligence, artificial. They're trying to make it, they're not going to ever make it organic, because it's not. So it's artificial, and it's not organic. And there's some things that humans do that are organic, and it's natural, and there's authentic, which is a human connection. And I feel that AI and tech is actually interrupting, in my opinion. It interrupts like that human authentic, like it doesn't know emotions. Like there was a movie, it's a Will Smith movie, it was the I, Robot movie, and it's just a movie, but in that scene, Will Smith didn't like, this is why he didn't like robots. Two vehicles, there was a car accident, and the cars went into the water, and Will Smith was in one, there was a young girl in the other. The AI, it doesn't know emotions or anything.
Right.
Doesn't understand, like, hey, that's a young girl in there. It read and scanned. It's just a movie, but this is stuff that can be rolled over to today. That Will Smith in the car had a little bit higher chance, like we'll say 45% versus 11, so a good amount of chance higher of survival versus the young girl. So the robot went for Will Smith, got him out, left the girl. When a human with empathy, with compassion, would not have done that. That went to go help the young little girl. She has a family. This is a young girl. Will Smith is already obviously older. He's still, valued. He's a human being, and he's lived some of his life. But the heart and compassion and empathy would not get like compromised. But AI and tech does.
That's a good one. Never thought about that.
So,
that's a good point.
And I see it already happening with. Just think if you're born in, I don't know, just call it 2010, right, and you're 13 years old. My big thing is what you don't know doesn't hurt you. You and I both know what it was like back in the day, pre-tech, how humans operated and how they acted, and what we are doing today. And I feel, and this, once again, when I speak about this, there's always the exception. There might be someone's like, I'm not like that. Well, you might be the exception, but a mass majority, I feel, they're born on these phones. They're dealing with these phones so much. And once again, AI and tech doesn't have emotions like us, like a human being.
It's depersonalized everything.
Completely. You're pulling the human, you're hurting the humans. And this is where I think it's hurting. You're talking business and stuff, and I get it completely. But here's the other side, what you're saying. You're like, there's like the good and the bad. The bad is this technology and AI, is it hurting humanity as it moves forward? Does compassion, empathy, and love become a thing of the past? Does somebody, once again, that was born in 2010, that might be 13 years old, 12, whatever, do they know what, you might laugh at this, what Boyz II Men was singing about? What Mariah Carey was singing about? Do they know that exists between human beings? And they might be like, I don't know what that is. It's weird, whatever. But what they don't know doesn't hurt them. So today, the way that they live, they don't know that. So somebody being born today, if AI keeps going in this direction, what they don't know doesn't hurt them. So they'll think that it's normal to be living in this numb, desensitized world with no compassion or emotion, and you're becoming more robotic, like I just explained with the whole Will Smith scenario. Where do you have that? So my big problem is with it.
Relationships.
I don't want it. I think it damages human emotions. It makes us less human.
Right.
And I'll let you jump to some because I can keep going on about this. But that was my one big point that I wanted to make.
I never thought about that.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
And it is a problem. Is the white picket fence family a thing for the newer generation? No. Why?
It's not.
It's this thing.
But
This
Chris,
device
if
is controlling.
If you have
them.
a problem with me texting you instead of picking up the phone and calling, just tell me. We didn't have to do a podcast about it.
I'm okay. Let's just not. I don't want to become numb.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I want to stay. I still want to be a human.
No. So we still need to talk. We still need to communicate. Mm-hmm. So that's a very good point because I never really thought about that. The desensitized.
Yeah, desensitizing a human being. What they don't know doesn't hurt them. It's like I'll touch on this real quick, and you could probably relate to it. It's an analogy. So if you boil a hot boil of water and you put a frog in it, the frog will be like, "Oh, it's hot," and it jumps out.
Right.
It doesn't want to get cooked. Right. So if you do something real slow, like AI or tech, and you treat it, this is where the bad can come in, and you're like, "Oh, just slowly, you guys come on social media, it's free." You're on there, and then slowly, next thing you know, you find out they're listening to us. Okay, and people are a little bit bothered by it, but it's such a slow approach, meaning that if you put the frog...
You don't see the instant problems or results from it because it's...
Down the road, it's a slow approach, so you put the frog in the water, and then you just turn up just a little bit, which is, hey, I'm going to start listening to you guys on the phone and stuff.
The frog's not going to know because it all of a sudden
the
it
frog
goes from-
dies. That's the whole thing.
Right.
So you slowly get more and more of the face recognition. You start
Right.
controlling. And me and you might be like, look, we're okay with some of this tech, but how far are you going with it?
How far? Yeah.
And you love it for business. I love it for business, for efficiency. But like, how far are you going with this? We don't know. We have to trust that it's for the right intentions.
Yeah.
And that's one.
And
my
that
trust
well, that
issues,
goes
yeah.
back to the government thing, right? So
Yeah.
things like GPS was created for the military,
Mm-hmm.
and it's being used in consumer services.
Yeah.
now, right.
Right.
So that's the problem when things go too far one way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I like AI for business efficiency, right? So in our business, we've got a CRM that talks to our customers. So our customer comes to our website, they're looking for something that they want to buy, and it talks to them because it knows it reads the words, it knows the questions they're asking, and yes, when do you want to meet, when do you want to come in, and all the other stuff, and it gets them through that funnel, right?
Right.
Just like anything, you go to a car dealership or whatever, you're not talking to a person when you inquire online, you know, and I know everybody's experienced this before where you realize that you're talking to a computer and all of a sudden you start asking stupid questions and then it reverts back to like the question from before trying to get you back on track. And you're like, no, I want to talk to a person.
Right. Would you prefer to talk to a person?
Right. But what I'm saying to you is that that's a great example of AI is perfect for that approach. But it's only good for bantering back and forth, maybe 3 questions.
Yeah.
And then the human needs to pick up,
Right.
right? This tech is the same thing. It's good for certain layers, but it's going too far, right? So
Right.
I'm excited about AI because it will help there's less managing of people, right? So all of the things in, let's just say construction, for example, all the things in construction, right, is every person that's out there working, for every hour they're getting paid, they're probably producing, let's call it 41 minutes of work, right?
Right.
Because by time you drink your soda, you text somebody, you take a little bit of a break, you know what I mean? That doesn't, so with robots, that doesn't happen, right? So now there's a person in a regular construction industry that's managing the people to make sure that they're working efficiently, right?
Right.
And those people that are working efficiently because somebody's watching them are doing a pretty good job, but then they're making mistakes, right? So it's costing a lot of time, right? And in a world that's moving really, really fast, we're trying to make up time, right? We're trying to get buildings built quicker. We're trying to get, information faster, right? That's why the human's being squeezed out, right?
Right.
But it's okay because the human is going to be used for different things.
Yeah.
Like you said, if a human can lay bricks, if a robot can lay bricks for a house, right? A human can do the same thing, but a human has is much higher intellectual capabilities than a robot that can make decisions that are based on emotion, that can make decisions that are not in the program of the robot.
Right.
So that person now who has a job that's maybe a laborer can level up, and they don't have to be in this job that keeps them here in this layer. They go to the layer up. Now, with that being said, the person has to want to do that. But the person that's stuck here in this mode, it's either sink or swim, and that's the issue. And we're starting to see a little bit in the job force right now is because a lot of the people that are here in that middle market, they're not forcing themselves to go up. And what they're doing is they're just giving up and they're falling down.
Right.
And that's where
That's a problem.
we're going to have a major problem with the government having to assist those people.
Right.
Because those people are going to be caught not in the middle anymore. They're going to fall down to a situation where they don't know what they can be doing. That's why we have to educate people better in our school systems. Our government needs to have better programs, job programs, technical schools, things of that nature, to where those people can become a manager to oversee the process versus actually performing the task.
Managing robotics at this point, like that becomes a new job. Yeah. So like we talked about, it does what's the good about AI and tech is it forcing people to grow. it's trying to, but maybe that the opposite of that is like there might not people that will grow, or they might not want to. Everyone has a different drive in life, and maybe they're like they don't have to now. But then it's like the government and stuff is now trying to cater, or people are paying more in taxes to cater to those that unfortunately doesn't want to work. Maybe there's I think we're already dealing with a little bit of it. So does it take value? Does it devalue the human? Like my big thing is like I don't want to be beat out by a robot. I always want to be of value as a person on planet Earth. I want to feel like I have a purpose, of value. I don't want to be just what I mean, let's be real. Like what is this whole experience?
You will be replaced by a robot.
I will not
in
be.
certain segments of your life, of certain tasks that are performed.
Okay, but I'm not going to be less of value when that world comes. And I don't know how long I'm going to live. I'm 41, so we'll see. But there's a beginning and there's an end. And for the time that I'm here on planet Earth for this experience, I want to have some sort of feel of value, of purpose, and I want to make sure I always level up. We talk about that, and I don't want to be beat out by a robot. So I make great effort, but I'm aware. Here's the thing: this conversation we're having, we're aware. Why? Because we know where we came from. 90s, 80s. We know where we're at today. Somebody that is younger, different generation, is like, what are you talking about? Like pre-internet. We know pre-internet. We know human connection. We know what that feels like. We know what that experience is. This tech and AI I don't say it seems, we know that it has definitely suppressed emotion. It messes with it. I was driving down the road the other day. I don't know if you heard this. This is in town on the radio. Are you suffering from depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, this? And we are this law firm. If you're having these and you feel that it's due to social media from online, started naming Facebook, Instagram and stuff. I'm like, so there's a lawsuit now going on?
Oh, like a class action lawsuit?
Because there's truth to the fact that a young person being born and being handed a device, young kids, 5-6 years old, yes, it might make them advance with like using tech stuff. You remember how we were talking about earlier, like how it's being more robotic and less of a human? So yeah, they're going to be really good. Wow, they're good coders or this. Yeah, but they're desensitized. They want dopamine hits. These are dopamine hits. They're being taught that they can hit a button and things come to them quickly. That's the entitlement. Like, I should be able to get this stuff. Well, I don't want to have to work. This doesn't work that much. It's just fast. I want this. It's almost like it's a programming.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. So you might get people that maybe want to work for your company and they want to be CEO right away. When it's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
They want instant results. They want instant gratification.
The
and
device
they want zero to hero.
teaches that,
right away. Yeah.
It teaches that. The device is such, and I'm not going to get too far off topic, but just think about this. And this is different ways. The device, I feel, is number one. We're number two now. We're kind of giving an example of how we're feeding it. We're doing it right now with a podcast, feeding it information. It's learning and it's getting smarter because my phone is listening to me. It knows me better than I know me. It knows me and it knows you. Knows all about us. Our conversations are probably stored in a database and it can tell you everything about yourself. It's that advanced. It's very impressive. It is created by a human, so I don't go that it'll always be better than a human because we're all kind of different. So it's picking up information, but it doesn't know, like, I feel like I have these, some people do, and you might as well, have extra senses. So meaning that I can read things and see things. When I look at somebody, I can read body language and stuff like that. And somebody might be like, oh, well, AI is going to be able to do all that. It'll never be able to feel, because it doesn't. It's, once again, that's artificial, man.
We have to learn to coexist with it.
I agree.
Right? We have been for 2 decades now, right? With tech.
Right.
The thing right now is just going very fast, right? So it was go back to the frog thing, right? We basically were in the water and the temperature was going very, very slow.
Right.
The temperature's going fast right now. But I guess we're already cooked, so it doesn't matter, right? So from this point forward,
right,
we're already cooked, right? I think our brain started getting cooked when the microwaves came out. That's a whole other topic.
Oh gosh, that's a no with the EMFs and stuff.
So can we coexist with tech? Yes. You're a real estate agent,
right?
Will tech replace a real estate agent?
Will it?
Yeah.
At some point, yes. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Unfortunately, let me back it up. It'll coexist because. Once again, we talk about, I think humans, well, once again, this is such a deep conversation. You talk about somebody like me or you or somebody today that has emotions and likes human connection and wants that kind of service. But if you talk about somebody that's being born today, as they grow up, maybe get more desensitized, they don't have those emotions. They don't care about, they want just the robots
they don't care,
to do
right.
it. Because
we're going to see the
robots.
Different generations are going to shy away from certain types of communication. Right.
Yeah. Bye. Compassion, empathy, love.
Where tech gets rid of, let's just call it the next 10 years. Right.
Yeah.
the tech that's going to erase things that we do on a daily basis. Like we're not going to be cutting our own grass anymore, right?
Right. I think
the
it's a
robots
waste of
going
time
to be cutting
anyways.
our grass.
Correct.
Right?
I'm okay with that.
The robot's going to be taking our garbage out. The robot's going to be, cleaning our house and building houses and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which allows us to live our best life.
And
right?
should be doing other things, stuff that's more maybe
we should be
valuable.
doing stuff that's more intellectual, right?
Correct.
Things that are help us fulfill certain needs and wants in our life that are better for our brain health, right? Better for our bodies, right? Because all the busy work that we take care of on a daily basis are things that we have to do all the time that are kind of meaningless.
Completely.
That's where I'm excited about AI.
Right.
Meaningless, brainless activity. I'm all for AI. There.
Does somebody need to be flipping burgers? That's what we're
No.
getting at. No. So
absolutely
AI and robotics is
Right.
fine. You don't
Right.
need to be doing that. You should be doing something more.
No.
Once upon a time, there was somebody that set up the bowling pins. We talked about this.
Right.
And used to give. Now we have a machine mechanism that actually sets the bowling pins up and
Right.
sets the ball back. You don't need to be delivering this. That doesn't need to be a job. You don't need to be pumping gas for John Curry at the pump. That was a thing of the past. That he can just do it himself, which
Unless
is
you're in New
self-serve.
Jersey.
They still do it there.
Yeah.
Somebody will come out and pump your gas for you.
Yeah.
I just remember that was a thing of the past.
Yeah, I always have a hard time getting New Jersey people to come to Florida because that's the first thing they ask about.
One thing I was going to jump on, I don't want to get too loose train of thought, but what I'm looking at with this whole thing is that AI and technology is okay if we're using it to help us. We should be using it for us to help us and to bring us together and to make humans better but not lose empathy, love, compassion, emotions, and be desensitized. It shouldn't. The problem is when we're not using it, it's using us. Like that's my big problem. Is the tech and AI, are we using it or is it using us? And I'm going to say right now, it is using us. It's working us.
Yeah.
There's not, go to the gym. Well, you don't go to the gym, but I'm going to touch a couple things real quick and I'll let you go.
I don't go to the gym, huh?
Well, you told me you don't like to go to the gym, but you might go and play tennis and stuff. I'm not trying to disrespect you,
Okay,
Mr.
I just want to make sure.
Jonathan
I
Curry. But when you go to the gym, this phone and this tech, this device, this technology is so powerful. It doesn't want to be left out with anything that you're doing, human. It's almost like calling the person's mind, right? So
Right.
if you go today, you'll see a lot of people like they take out their phone when they're at the gym to work out, to videotape themselves and stuff. You see how they're feeding it, they're catered to it. You see how it runs them, it controls them. They could be on a beautiful trip and there's a beautiful scenery. They pull out their phone. The phone's like, don't forget me. I won't forget you. You're my master, and I'll make sure you're with me the whole way and doing everything. And I'm your boss. I'll keep feeding you. I'll keep feeding you content. I'll keep feeding you information. It's the dopamine hit.
You're feeding the beast, man.
People don't know the emotions of. I'm gonna say people don't know the newer generations and stuff. I think aren't as gonna be as deep emotionally and stuff. But it's all about dopamine hits. That's what that phone is. It's a quick high, a quick high, a quick high. So the likes, the followers, the comments, the attention. And people with big Twitter accounts, what do they care about? Do they care about real life? No, they care about that Twitter account. They care about the likes, the followers, the interaction. That's and they're addicted to it. And the same thing with let's say a woman on OnlyFans or somebody that just wants their Instagram to look better. They'll go to the gym and they will put so much work in for that exterior. They neglect their interior. It's being suppressed, desensitized. Yeah. And they go back online and feed online everything they did in real life to get a hit. The dopamine hit of the likes, the followers and stuff. The tech, once again, get back to what I'm saying. The tech, the internet, got them. And it has them gripped. And it says, you're not going to go out and live wonderful life, these beautiful trees and stuff. No, you're going to go, you can go out there, but I want you to bring me with you. I want you to record everything. I want you to focus on building this internet worldview, this vision of you on the internet, which is a lot of times a facade. Build that up. That's all you care about. You know, a girl, it's so funny. Women, and no offense, I'm going to call it like it is though, but they can go to the gym. There's like a big thing where women go to the gym and they're recording themselves. And a lot of gyms are getting pissed off where they might like, hey, we got no cameras in the gym. And if there's a guy, let's say you're out there working out and there's a girl like that's working out, she's got a video of herself. And you look at her, she might use you to get like likes and followers. And she'll be like, look at this creep. And she'll be like, John Curry from Curry Properties, Realty World Curry Properties is staring at me, keeps checking me out. and it's normal for you. So it's like, well, hold on, you're wearing these like tight pants, your butt's showing and everything, you got your boobs out and you're videotaping yourself and you're calling this guy out. But then you're going to take that same content, you're going to post it online, and you're okay with all those people commenting and liking it and looking at you on there, but he couldn't glance at you for a second because maybe you did look attractive. Is that a problem?
I think this is
and you put him on blast?
I think when
Shit
you
like
I think
that's
when you
happening.
told me this, that's the reason why I don't go to the gym.
It's ridiculous. I don't even look at women for that reason.
I
I
don't
look
even
for
wa-
their phone because I'm like, that's messed up that you're doing that. Like, it's okay to glance at somebody. It's okay. It's a problem if you're a creepo and you're harassing and stuff. But yeah, I see that
So
crap, man.
with in regards to tech and AI and all this stuff, I mean, you know, we're feeding it, right? We're feeding all of this information.
Give it information.
Chat GPT
Make it
is
smarter.
working because we're making it Chat GPT smarter.
Completely.
We're making the internet smarter, right?
Right, you're feeding it.
We're feeding the beast. But you know, it goes back to the golden rule, right? Everything in moderation, right?
Yeah.
So if everything's in moderation and you do things in moderation, like now after we're having this conversation, I'm thinking to myself, every time I download an app on the Apple Store, right? I'm going to look, what is it doing for me, right? What's it replacing, right? Because instead of me having an app for everything, I just need apps that will help me do certain things, not everything, right? Because we don't want to take things away from the good parts of our life. The other thing is we don't want to be in the hamster wheel of life. We want to live life instead of life living us. I don't want AI to live me. I want to live my life using AI to my advantage. And I think what happens is it goes back to your analogy. It happens so slowly over time
Right.
that you don't realize that it's happening to you.
Right.
So if you can recognize that and say, today I'm going to say, I'm going to utilize these tools to better enhance my life, but I'm not going to use all of these tools to do everything for me in my life.
Right.
Then you can live a better life, right?
Yeah.
By determining, it's like what's good and what's bad. What's a good food to eat? What's a bad food to eat? Look at AI as the same thing.
Right.
There's an apple, there's a cookie, right?
Yeah.
What should you be eating? What should you not be eating? Or if you want to eat a cookie, you eat one, you don't eat 7, right? So maybe that's not a great analogy, but that's how I look at it in my life, right?
You're right. You're saying in moderation.
Yeah,
It's okay.
everything in moderation. Choose the things that you want to use. The information is given to us, and the problem is all of this information is given to us for free.
If it's
If
free,
we had to pay for it,
right.
we would pick and choose the things that we were going to use. But it's all being given to us for free because that information that we're providing the tech is
Yeah.
being sold to big business.
Are you going to say the line? You're hitting the nail on the head of what I'm about to say. If
Right.
it's free, you're the product. Always remember
if it's
that.
free, you're the product.
And you're saying that. You're like, hey, it's free and they're selling it to the business.
Right.
You're the product.
So I look at AI as a super positive thing. You are in control of the AI yourself. You choose which buttons you want to hit. You choose what you want to do. Will we lose 85 million jobs by 2025? Who knows? Will we lose 52 million, 97 million? We're going to lose jobs.
Yeah.
But we're going to level up.
We're hoping the humans level up. from this.
We hope that humans
It's
level
trying
up.
to push you to level up.
It's pushing
Yeah.
people to level up. So the best thing we can do is we can teach our friends, our family, our kids, look at AI as a positive thing. Don't overstep your boundaries. Take it with moderation. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this stuff. It is weird and it's nerve-wracking, you know? But at the end of the day, I don't mind it because I don't feel like I'm doing anything that's going to jeopardize my health, well-being, or my livelihood. Because, you know, I always looked at it this way. You know, whether Google was looking at pictures from the sky or God's watching us or whatever, I don't care if there's a camera on every stoplight,
Yeah, I'm okay
every
with
traffic
that.
light. I don't even care because at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing.
Right. It's
I'm
telling you
not
to
robbing
behave.
people. I'm you know.
Can you guys just behave? That's,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Just
Can you guys just
behave.
behave?
Yeah.
And some people are like, I don't want
Yeah.
cameras and all this stuff. It's like,
I
get it, but
I was
just
one
behave.
Of the,
Like,
I was
don't
one of
be
the
an
first
asshole.
people. I'll leave this with you.
Yeah.
I was one of the first people of my family and friends network to get my DNA done when 23andMe came out.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried in the
I don't want
slightest.
to give it. I don't want to give it up and stuff. At the end of the day, it's like I mean, once again, I'm not living forever.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna eventually pass away, and it's just, to me, it's already too late. So to me, it's too late. As long as AI and tech, I mean, but maybe that's the way the world wants to go. And once upon a time, there was human beings like there were dinosaurs. I don't know. Maybe that's where it's going. I'm not in control of what's going on here, but I'm a human, and I am appreciative, and I'm thankful for my creator, God, giving me like these emotions, the ability to see, taste, smell, touch, to have all these senses. And I don't want to lose them. And then I think about, AI, virtual reality, let's call it, and augmented reality. And if it's heading in that direction, and we're halfway there, and the young boy, girl that's growing up is on the phones and that's becoming their life, and that's all they know. And next thing you know, they're wanting to tap into virtual reality to build this life and run around on there. You completely just checked out of planet Earth. So was that what the human's supposed to be, sitting in a room with the goggles on and neglecting what was created out here? My answer is no, it doesn't even make sense. So I'm never going to jump into that that virtual reality world. I'm going to try to always enjoy what's out here because I think it's gorgeous and beautiful. There's a whole planet that was given to us, and I'm thankful for that. And when you go, and this is the other thing, think about when I keep talking about like how it's making you less human. It's making the humans like descend. It's just really suppressing a human being. And then the robot becomes more powerful, and the human's so suppressed. And this human almost becomes like a robot, real desensitized and stuff. When you go on virtual reality, you start losing your senses as a human being, right? Because right now there's some things I can read your body language, there's energy, emotion and stuff. I can feel that and stuff. When I put this on, I'm now like checking out of like reality in a way. I'm now looking at like a screen, a digital screen. And my smell, you're going to have, once again, it goes back to the word artificial intelligence, AI and stuff, right? It's artificial. It's fake. I'm like, why do I want to go to a fake world?
It's a great word if you think about it.
It's a scary word.
It's a scary word. So pay attention to what it is.
So think.
Artificial.
So everything you see is artificial. So you're not seeing anything that's organic or natural, authentic. And then your smell, which is a sense that you're given, is now gone. What are you going to do now? Have to have some sort of, the machine or the AI machine is going to produce a smell. Why are we doing this? And then a taste. What are you going to do? Put a tube in your mouth to taste whatever is going on in this virtual reality world. Do you see how the senses are being removed? Like, and you can hear stuff. You're going to be able to see stuff, but can you feel? Oh, we're going to create something artificial for you to feel. I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, what's the purpose? I want to be real life. Already has it. Real life,
and
right. So it's like, why do people do that, or why are they going there? And is it cool? It's cool, but it's dangerous and it's scary. And then it's killing the value of a human being, a purpose. Like, is your purpose to be running around a video game online trying to level up that character? Why don't you level up? John Curry's trying to level up John Curry in real life. Chris Register's trying to level up Chris Register in real life. I don't care about leveling up some character. I don't care about having a cool Instagram account, a Twitter. No, because at the end of the day, that's not really what's going on in my life. You could have 5 million followers. Let's say some Instagram model, they call themselves 5 million followers. Everyone's liking you, and it's a dopamine hit. And everyone's like, oh my God, the girl's so hot. That was so hot. She's so hot. Oh my God. And they follow, and there's bots talking and stuff. And it's got that person, that Instagram person trapped. Are they really living the life that they want? Are they really feeling it? No, they're getting a high from this Instagram, from being a pretty woman and, having filters and stuff to even make it enhance it. But are you really winning? Are you really living your life, a purpose and stuff? Are you finding true love and stuff? Are you really feeling that? Maybe what you don't know doesn't hurt you.
I'm interested in understanding my why, knowing why I'm here on this earth, using my my brain to its best capacity, helping people with the things that they need help with, learning from other people. I guess my exercises are mostly brain exercises, I guess, right? I like to talk to people, learn from people. But I will tell you that, and you can put it on the screen, but this is one of my favorite infographics. If you will.
I'll throw it up there.
Don't let technology blind and consume you. That's what I wanted, because I always like to leave you guys with something kind of that's kind of the summary, if you will. But yeah, don't let technology blind and consume you.
That's good.
I really feel that that's one of the things that can really hurt you in life.
That's good. You have awareness, and I guess that's where I'm going with the whole thing. I'm obviously, there's going to be obviously people that dislike some of the things I say. Please understand, I'm not talking about the mass amount of women. All the women are like this, or all the guys are like this. I'm aware of both, of tech and pre-tech, which means I can see that something's heading in a bad direction and maybe you're going in the wrong way. So what I would say to somebody out there that's doing, like, that's literally catering, once again, the AI's got them. They're feeding it. They're feeding the tech, the internet, everything they got. Their whole life is going on that thing, and that's important to them. I'm saying I need you to pay attention to what you're doing, and don't forget, that interior of yours and that person inside and what's going on in real life. Give real life attention to not just the internet, just not the dopamine hits. Don't live a life of dopamine hits. It can be an ugly fall in the sense that your whole life has been that way. And all of a sudden, your whole life's been built up on Instagram, a third-party platform. Imagine it getting turned off. Can you handle that fall? Would there be a lot of sadness, depression, and stuff from people that were used to getting this attention, this likes, and it gets yoked away because, hey, you're building it up. You built your whole life on a third-party platform that can get hit with a switch. What do you have to fall back on? And then you look at real life like crap. And I'm saying my message is, do not neglect planet Earth, real life. God created your creator. I don't care what your belief is and what you think. We're all just humans. You're not making this world turn, whether you believe flat Earth or whatever. You know what I mean? You didn't create the trees, the birds, the blue sky. You didn't create oxygen. We're just human beings. Please don't neglect what was given to you and what keeps you, alive. You're breathing in something that wasn't created by you. Like, you don't check out from that and go into something artificial, which is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't go that. Don't neglect planet Earth. You should always have that in your life.
Yeah, well said.
Work on that.
Absolutely.
Work on
I
that.
totally agree.